All right. Happy Sunday, everybody, and happy May. We are so excited to invite you all to the very first of our May Days concerts. Hopefully everybody is enjoying their first weekend of May. Please leave a comment when you can hear and see us. We've got a little bit of extra technology tonight, so it's always good to know when you all are present, just so that we've got the peace of mind that everything here is working the way that it should. Yay! So I see already Chris's awesome comment on YouTube. That's so cool. So that's a perfect introduction. We're super excited to be welcoming Chris Matthews tonight from DC. Are you in DC right this second?
I am literally sitting in the District of Columbia right now.
Amazing. Nice. What part of DC do you live in?
I'm in Northeast DC.
Okay.
So we're actually very close to the Maryland border. So it's actually faster for me to get to Maryland than to get to downtown where the Capitol and everything is. But it's nice because it's so peaceful out here. I have like an actual yard, which is really nice, so it doesn't actually feel like I'm in DC, which for this North Carolina girl is very nice.
Where are you from in North Carolina?
From Richlands. It's a little tiny town in southeastern North Carolina. It's kind of close to Jacksonville and Wilmington.
Okay,
Gotcha.
nice.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, the DC the DC traffic is very real. We've made the mistake of, my aunt lived in Vienna, Virginia, most of my childhood, and we made the mistake so many times on tour of booking shows at 7 o'clock in DC, and we're thinking like, cool, she lives 10 miles from downtown, and you look at the GPS and it's like 10 miles, like
30 hours to get there.
Yeah. And we were like,
Totally insane.
we started learning get there hours early and just hang out in DC, because it's not worth it at 5 o'clock. You're not going anywhere. So
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but are you anywhere near Capitol Heights?
Yeah, actually, Capitol Heights, Maryland. Yep, not far from there at all.
We've played a show
folks
there.
over that way?
We played a show there, a nice little outdoor house concert twice, actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll hook you up with them.
Yeah,
we'll give you their name. Well, I see some people are here. It's so nice to see you all. Hey, Jennifer. Hi, everyone. There's people from my fam here. So we're going to start you off tonight. We're going to go song for song. So hang out, and you'll hear both us and Chris play lots of awesome music. And we're going to kick this thing off. Thank you again, Chris, so much for being here with us
Thanks
tonight.
for having me, you too.
All right, friends. We're just going to start this off with Every Seed Must Die. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Cool.
I was thinking about the spring,
For obvious reasons,
for
I
obvious
think.
reasons. Yeah. May days. I like this little flower up in the corner. I think that's pretty cool.
That was your idea.
That was my idea. And then I picked my shirt to match it.
Oh, my gosh.
I know, that's ridiculous. But, yeah, this is, our first May Days concert. So it just felt like anxiety relief had to end. But now we have this new awesome thing, and it's multiplied because we get to play with friends, which is awesome. So
great.
yeah. So in that spirit, here's Every Seed Must Die. It's all fading fast. This world that I see won't last. And it feels like the tighter I hold on, the quicker it all slips away. And time knows no mercy. It slows down for nobody. The clockwork ticks steadily forward, a lifeless machinery. It seems like every seed must die, fall to the earth for a while. It's hard to lose, and it hurts to let go, but every seed must die for new life to grow. Now I have a cousin. He said while he was praying that every color burst to life around him in a shimmering dance. Then he looked me in the eye, said I'm no longer afraid to die, for the love that we share here together, it will never pass away. Yes, and every seed must die, fall to the earth for a while. It's hard to lose, and it hurts to let go, and my heart beats that is true. My eyes perceive just a partial view, though the beauty seems to flee. It's a signpost for a world I will one day see. Yes, and every seed must die, fall to the earth for a while. It's hard to lose, and it hurts to let go, but every seed must die for new life to grow, for new life to grow.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
So what we're going to do tonight is while we're each playing, well, not while we're each playing, but in between songs, is we're just going to ask each other little mini interview questions. We've got a lot of regulars here. It's so nice to see Sandy and Art and Katie and Carolyn, and Matt is commending our fancy graphics, which is awesome. So I want to start by plugging something very important. Ready for this fancy technology? Are you ready for this?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh.
We should take our... I don't know if you heard us while we did that. I'm still figuring this all out.
No, okay. Dang it. It was fancy.
Awesome. It was
It
close.
was a good shot.
It was close to being fancy. We were this close. But your beautiful album just came out?
Yep, March 26th. Yep.
Okay,
Wow.
nice. That's amazing. So our first question for you is, how was it releasing an album during COVID?
Ooh, it was a very scary thing. This album I wanted to actually put out just about a year ago, but once the pandemic kicked in, it was like I felt kind of horrible being like, hey, can you guys join this Kickstarter while, millions of people are not working, including myself, and many people are having to endure horrible tragedies. Is anybody into releasing an album with me? It was just like, it felt so just tone deaf, and like the time was horrible, even though the subject matter of the album is about social justice, is about change, and is about hope. And so as the pandemic kind of, I guess, rolled on and people kind of acclimated to what this new normal is for so many of us, and simultaneously, like while we were all trying to survive and live through this pandemic, we had so many of these issues that the album is actually about still persisting.
Oh yeah.
And so it was just like the universe, I couldn't not release it anymore. And so I just jumped, and my amazing fans caught me, and we just made this beautiful album together, me and 300 other people. And it's pretty awesome. I mean, I think in the end, it will be one of the most beautiful things about the album, the fact that it got released the way that it did, and when it did, because it just speaks so much to how very deeply people believe in hope and believe in the promise of better. So it was actually, as my mom, the Reverend, likes to always remind me, all things work together for good. So I think even with this album being released in a pandemic is another indication of that.
That's beautiful.
I feel, yeah, I just resonate with what you're saying so much, you know, and it's like these little glimpses when it's just like, okay, this is a total crap storm, like how could there be any good, you know, or like you're saying, I feel so tone deaf in my approach to this, but then to see that community and people come together, and it's all virtual, you know, right now, so that connection we still just crave and long for, and that's so awesome.
And I could ask you 100 follow-up questions about your mom.
I know.
And just about everything that you just said. So this is going to be fun. So everybody, please go to chrismatthews.com or absolutely support her on Patreon. You all know about Patreon already. So if you want to spread the love, please, please, please do. And then for those of you who are with us tonight, over in Chris's half of the screen is the donation for all of these concerts. So if you would like to donate tonight, please go to that link, bit.ly/maydaysdonations, and there's a little drop down, and you can click on this concert if you'd like to specifically donate to this concert. We'll split everything 50-50, and I think that's it. We're just going to let you play now. How's that sound?
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Well, it's just a joy to be with all of you tonight. I'm going to start off with what is the very first song on Changemakers, on the album that we were talking about. And this song is called Exactly Where You Are.
I've traveled all across this land, up the Gold Coast and back home again. Found common ground around every bend, and far fewer strangers than I've found friends. A little princess drawing at breakfast with wonder in her eyes, an immigrant on the phone with her abuela saying goodbye. Planes and trains and buses too. No us and them, just me and you. And every person's like a book with a story yet to tell, a hidden gem buried deep within the depths of their well. Hello, how's it going? How's your journey been so far? It's nice to meet you, nice to meet you, exactly where you are. I've been from sea to shining sea, from Mendocino to Carolina Beach, and what I found town after town is folks getting right back up when life knocks them down. A sweet widow from Ohio who still sings with every track, a rambling man with his whole life packed upon his tired back. Planes and trains and buses, no us and them, just me and you. And every person's like a book with a story yet to tell, a hidden gem buried deep within the depths of their well. Hello, how's it going? How's your journey been so far? It's nice to meet you, nice to meet you, exactly where you are. As I've journeyed far and wide, I've tried to reach out across the great divide, across those knowns and those unknowns that keep us in opposing corners so alone. This or that, insert whatever social construct that you like. I hope all our better angels take the wheel for a while. Planes and trains and buses too. No us and them, just me and you. Just me and you. Just me and you, yeah. Just me and you, yeah. And every person's like a book with a story yet to tell. A hidden gem buried deep within the depths of their well. Hello, how's it going? How's your journey been so far? It's nice to meet you, nice to meet you. Exactly, exactly where you are.
Oh, you're muted again. You got this, girl.
Oh my
you got
gosh.
this. Don't even worry about it.
You know, it's been a year. It's been almost a year and 2 months now. And I can't believe it. I just wanted you to see this comment from our friend Mark in Philly, who said, "Damn, she's good." And
Thank you very much, Mark. And I think he also liked my phonograph back here.
I know. I always think it looks like a Grammy. And
Yeah.
I like that,
Yeah.
the manifestation, for lack of a
Exactly.
better word.
That's exactly what it is. Yep.
Nice. I love it. And
So
Mark,
fun.
tell us what venue that was, because we met Mark in Philly as well at the Homestead, Glenside.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you know what venue it would have been in Philly? Outside
It
of
could
Philly?
have been two places. The one, I can't remember the actual name of it, and the other one is just like a room that's affiliated with the Philadelphia Folk Song Society.
Yeah,
So it could have been one of those two places.
Put you
yeah.
on the spot there. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, and I want to mention to everybody, stick around. Well, stick around for lots and lots of reasons, but we made a collaborative video with Chris,
Yes.
and our patrons have seen it, but we are going to premiere it here tonight.
So exciting.
Yeah, around 7:30. Like, we'll each play one more song, and then we'll do it and
sounds about
see
right.
where we're at.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. All right. If anybody has any questions for any of us, please leave a comment. I'll put you on the spot again, Chris. Do you
Well,
have
I have
any
I have a
questions?
question for you too. I would
Okay.
love to know the origin of your name. The Promise is Hope. I love that so much.
Yeah,
Good question.
it's a common
Who's
one that we
taking
get.
it?
Go for it.
Who's
I've been
taking
talking.
it?
I've been talking a lot.
Okay, sure. So, Ash and I, when we got together, I think, did we decide on the band name like the night of our first show?
I was journaling that day,
That day.
and it sort of, yeah.
It sort of came out, and we decided our first show was a house concert, at which I proposed to
I
Ash.
was gonna say, wow, you're really keeping out the big thing that happened. That
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, that was kind of the big thing. But we did announce that we were going to go under the Promise is Hope. And my last name is L'Esperance, which is French for the hope.
Nice.
And so, yeah, we wanted to carry that with us in our project name in some way. And that was it felt like a really relevant kind of idea for us at the time. Sort of moving into this new life together, trying to, our like music career was just starting off. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of, and yeah, I mean, the way that we write and the way that we try to interact with folks too is just to be honest and to be real about like the hard things in our life, but also like the good things too. So similar to what you were saying with your pandemic release,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I just want you to know now, it may end up being a song lyric of mine at some point. I think it's just so lovely. So I'm just letting you
That's
know that
great.
in advance. That, yeah.
That's
you
Yeah,
guys
so,
might end
there's
up-
beautiful.
We haven't trademarked it. We
That's
haven't.
right.
World, whoever wants to steal it, go for it. I was reading in the indie music book recently that was like, make sure you trademark your name early on, and I was like, Well, at this point, oh well. Yeah, no,
It's beautiful.
That's fully supported. We love that. If only we could get your name into a song somehow.
You
We'll
know?
figure that out.
Yeah, it's such a tricky one. You know, it sometimes conjures up memories of hardball, which is a very different vibe than my vibe. So, you know, no
Yeah.
pressure to put that in a song. It might be triggering for folks.
I get Boy Meets World vibes because his name was Corey Matthews. And so I see a lot of the letters in your name. And
Good times.
yeah, which also has nothing to do with your vibe. It just sometimes letters conjure things.
That association.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we are going to kick you out of our screen for a sec. And Chris's last song reminded me of Simon Taylor Denver Cash, which is a song about touring.
Yeah.
And I think we've had the exact same experience that I always say to people, before I was a musician, I thought the world was a bad place. I mean, I still do 99% of the time. I've like watched the news and I'm just like, oh no, everything's horrible. And then once you become a touring musician, people let you sleep on their floors. Sometimes people give you their bedrooms. Sometimes people feed you 3 meals a day. Sometimes people give you their apartment. Sometimes people host house concerts. And you're like, oh, this entire country is just completely full of good people.
Lovely people.
And that percentage that we see on TV all the time, like, I really hope that they get their crap together for sure. And I'm not saying there isn't horrible prevailing ideas all around in this country. There is. But people are generally trying to do their best and generally trying to be really generous. And that's what we've learned on the road. I think it's part of the reason this year's been hard, because all you see is a lot of suffering, you know?
Yeah.
We forget how good people are. So this is Simon Taylor Denver Cash, and it's kind of what it's about. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rocky Star, but we've got this. First time I heard Graceland, my heart fell on the floor. It stole my breath and it shook me to the core. Now every Friday night I play it in another crowded bar, 'cause I think we all need grace, no matter how drunk we are. Simon Taylor Denver Cash, these songs can make me cry, but no one's really listening in a dive at tonight. But it pays okay and it's hard to say no to a little dough. But I'm driving home and I never felt so low. 'Cause some nights you sing for no one in the corner of a bar, and some nights you sing for hundreds who all know who you are. It can be hollow as a raindrop, but it can thunder, it can fill, and applause can even pay a couple bills. The first time that they cheered for me, my heart went to the sky. I never knew there was a drug that could get me this high. So I've been working hard for hits of it since I was 13. But no one ever taught me how to win. Tonight we played in Boston in this legendary place. There's a picture of Joni Mitchell from the 70s backstage, and we sold out every seat in there and we played a perfect show. Still I'm driving home and I never felt so low. 'Cause some nights you sing for no one in the corner of a bar, and some nights you sing for hundreds who all know who you are. Man, it can heat you up like whiskey and go straight to your head. But applause, it cannot warm your bed. Ooh, oh, oh. Ooh, oh, oh. And we'll go back to Philly and you will all sing along. Or maybe I'll have children and I'll write them lullabies. Either way, I'll do this till I die. Maine to Carolina,
Through sunny fields and snow, driving home on Christmas Eve all the way from Buffalo.
oh, if you ask me if I would, I think that I'd do it all the same. 'Cause if you don't know how to give, well, then you don't know how to gain. And some nights you sing for no one in the corner of a bar.
And some nights you sing for hundreds who all know who you are.
And when I've drove 1,000,000 miles and I just wanna go home, I know that applause, it cannot save my soul. This applause, it cannot save my soul.
So great.
Thank
yeah,
you.
man, I can relate to that so very much.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The exhaustion, but we all miss it so much, right?
Yes,
It's
I
like,
cannot
what the
wait. I
heck?
have my first in-person show in 2 weeks, so I am so stoked.
Yay!
That's awesome.
That's so
Yeah.
exciting. That's
Are you
so
traveling
awesome.
far for that?
No, I just am going to Reston, so, which, circling it back to our DC traffic conversation, it could take me 40 minutes to get there. It could very well take me 2 hours to get there, but it
Yeah.
is not
Yeah.
actually that far away.
No,
I
it's not.
think, who did we play? Oh, we have friends that do house concerts in Reston, I think.
Yeah.
Or they did a house
It's a great
concert.
little
Right.
town.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, you said you grew up in North Carolina. For some
Yeah.
reason I had a moment.
I
that-
actually lived in Herndon, which is just, Herndon and Reston, they often get referred to hyphenated because they're so close together. I actually lived in Herndon for about 10 years, so
Okay.
Reston was almost home basically for many years before moving to DC proper, so
Okay,
Right on.
cool.
yeah.
Cool. So we'll ask you one more question, then you play one more song, and then we'll do our video,
Okay, cool.
and then we'll do some other stuff. So let's see. I was going to ask you about your album, which I will ask you something about your album later again. Everybody go check out this album. I'm going to put your website up again. But what I'm going to ask, I heard this in a podcast today and I loved it, and I want to make it part of this series that we ask every artist this.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff to feel not so great about this year, but what are you hopeful for? What is
Oh,
making you
gosh.
hopeful?
So many things actually. So I keep going back and forth between these two songs. Actually, that is a perfect cue up for the one I originally wanted to sing. It's like they say, you know, you can tell a lot about people and a lot about institutions and situations when they're in their darkest moments, and what comes through and what shines. And one of the things that, as I was getting ready to release the album, I realized was that I didn't have a song up there about the pandemic. And if this album, which is kind of like a time capsule for these past 4 years, basically, if I wanted to leave somebody with a snapshot of one of the most prevailing things about this pandemic that we all endured, what would it be? And it was honestly just the way that so many people put other people first, and just showed just how selfless we can be for one another and how good we can be to one another. And it just was such an overarching, beautiful thing that kind of showed its face in every little pocket of society during this pandemic. You know, neighbors making sure their neighbors who are elderly or immunocompromised were able to get groceries safely. Teachers still doing what teachers always do for the society and are just amazing and incredible. Of course, the first responders, and just amazing. So yeah, the snapshot I wanted to leave people with about how this pandemic was, about who we turned out to be in the middle of this terrible bit of ugliness, was a song called Selfless. And that's what I'm going to sing for you guys now.
Perfect. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely. This is a true story. This is about a doctor in Houston, Texas, named Carlos Araujo Presa.
We measure years in terms of seasons, how much darkness each day brings. And this year has been a hard one. It's felt like winter since last spring. But it's on the darkest nights that the stars that guide us shine. And in life, that's when you find out who will lay it all on the line. He was a doctor, son and father, a lover and a friend. And his job was like his calling, not a clock punch to pay the rent. He treated every patient like he would his mom, his kids. And when his lover asked, was he scared, he said, baby, I was born for this. Oh, selfless is as selfless does. Some give it all just because. And in times like these, when sorrows falling like the leaves, when the storm is more than a storm, heroes come in many forms. She couldn't see behind his mask, just the kindness in his eyes. And before she even asked, he said she was gonna be alright. 'Cause it's on the darkest nights that the stars that guide us shine. And in life, that's when you find out who will lay it all on the line. Well, he was right, she did recover. And one day when she was home, she saw an obit in the paper, and those kind eyes she'd come to know. She never got the chance to thank him, but she knew he saved her life. And with tears running down her face, she said there is no greater sacrifice. Oh, selfless is as selfless does. Some give it all just because. And in times like these, when the sorrows falling like the leaves, when the storm is more than a storm, heroes come in many forms. Not all heroes wear capes or costumes. Not the person teaching your kids, not the nurse sitting in your mom's room, not the frontline worker taking so many risks. But selfless is as selfless does. Some give it all just because. And in times like these, when the sorrows falling like the leaves, when the storm is more than a storm, heroes come. Heroes come in many forms.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can't wait to listen to this album front and back. That's from the new one,
thank
right?
you. Yeah, that's track number 11 on Changemakers. It's called Selfless.
Let's try this again. There's Changemakers.
That's it.
Such a great cover. Is that the Lincoln Memorial?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Oh, that's
it was
so
such
cool.
a it was very intentional. Everything about this album, like the album art, the order of the songs, everything about it. There's so much intention interwoven into it, and the steps of the Lincoln. A lot of people don't realize that in every generation, in every moment in this, the people standing up and saying, this is who we are, the people pulling the rest of the country, the rest of the world. So much of that has happened on those very steps. And I'm sitting at a tile that says this is where Dr. King stood and gave his address at the March on Washington. And there's also a really phenomenal story about Marian Anderson, an incredible opera singer, and the kind of quiet revolt that she also was part of, also on those very same steps. So yeah, I definitely wanted to be there. That is what I wanted to set the tone and the mood for the album.
Oh, I got so many chills when you said that you were sitting in that spot. Oh, that's so cool. I personally, I mean, obviously we all know like Taylor Swift is doing this beautifully right now, and people like in the mainstream are kind of like, oh, you know, this is what it looks like to have so much intention behind your projects. But for those of us who've been indie musicians, I think a lot of us, like so many of our favorite artists growing up and everything, had these like hidden tracks, or like, you know, there was something on the album cover that was so special, and if you were a true fan, you totally knew exactly what it was. And so those kind of secret, sort of subtle, maybe not secret, but those subtle just intentions that you put into an album, the art of that is one of my favorite things about being a musician. The art of making this album with so much intention that is lost in this Spotify single era, right? Like quick music. It's like, no, I love an album with all this intention behind the photos and the art, and just so that's amazing. So exciting. Someone has a question for you. Are you playing left-handed? Or is
I
it
am.
hammer?
Yeah, I'm a southpaw, but this is a right-handed guitar. So I'm playing upside down and backwards. No camera trick. No, I don't. I'm not advanced enough to do that, Sandy. It's just playing upside down and backwards. That's the byproduct of trying to impress a girl in college and learning how to play guitar on her guitar so that I could teach her how to play guitar. And she, of course, as are most people in the world, right-handed. So I just naturally picked it up how it felt comfortable to me. And so I learned it that way, which actually made it easy to teach because it's almost like a mirror image. But then when I was like, oh, I guess I'll maybe play guitar now, I was like, I'm not going to learn it twice. Once is plenty. I'm just going to keep playing it this way, which actually gives a kind of a cool timbre to the chords because the bass strings, the lower strings are on the bottom. Yeah. So I could nerd out. Sandy, don't make me nerd out like that. I'm holding myself back right now.
I think Sandy would be into it. Are you playing in standard tuning?
Yeah. Yep, just standard tuning.
Because he was going to ask you what tuning you were in, but it's just the upside down.
Yeah.
It
just makes the voicing so different on those chords. It's really cool.
That's really
It's
neat.
like, I think Ringo Starr was left-handed, so everyone thinks the Beatles have this particular sound. It's like, no, he was just left-handed, so he's kind of like...
Paul, I think Paul
opposite.
McCartney actually played this same way. I know Elizabeth Cotton did as well, probably for a similar reason, just the nature of what was nearby and learning how to just play it by yourself.
Yeah, right.
The question is, what song did you play to impress her?
Yes.
Oh man, okay. It was Gray Sky Morning by Vertical Horizon.
Whoa.
Wow.
Throwback. It's a different time, y'all.
Big
Different time.
throwback,
It's a different time. You know, if it wasn't Wonderwall, then I'm in full support.
Yeah.
Because I needed to know if you're a Wonderwall girl or...
The college years, man.
Yeah, the college years. It's like...
Appalachia State, a lot of good memories on that campus.
Nice. Nice. I looked there because they have a good music program. Did you go to
Yes,
school
they do, which is why I was there. Yeah, I'm actually a classically trained clarinetist who just ended up being a folk singer. So.
Wow.
No way. Is there clarinet on your record?
It is not. I everybody always asks me, when am I going to break it out? And I'm like so in love with the fact that Allie Russell in Birds of Chicago, she's always playing her clarinet on the stage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, God, I'm going to have to just go ahead and do it. I have not done it a single time, but I think I'm going to get brave enough to do it at some point.
Fair. Get yourself a looping pedal and figure it out somehow. Yeah, that'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
cool. So we're going to premiere this video, and I'm
Yay!
praying to the technology gods that everything works out beautifully. So for those of you who don't know, this concert and this whole month's worth of projects and things that are going on in the Promises Hope world is being sponsored and supported by the Mass Cultural Council, which is our state agency, and then the Worcester Arts Council, which is the city that we're in. And they not only supported these concerts that we're doing this month, but they also are supporting these collaborative videos that we're making with each of the artists. So without further ado, here's a really fun video that we got to make with Chris, and we hope that you enjoy it. And we also hope it works.
Okay, here we go.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my maid. Jolene, 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 please don't take him even though you can. Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair and ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. And your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene.
He talks about you in his sleep. There's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene. And I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what it means to me, Jolene.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him even though you can. Could have your choice of men, but I could never love again. He's the only one for me, Jolene. I had to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you, and whatever you decide to do, Jolene, yeah. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him even though you can. Please don't take him even though you can. Please don't take him even though you can.
So much fun. That was such a blast.
That was a blast. Yeah.
I can't believe I could get my voice that low. That was like, wow, just the right time in the morning.
Oh
my
I was gonna
gosh.
say that's like pre-coffee or something.
Yeah, totally.
And hearing you sing tonight too, it's just so funny because
It's like, oh, your range is in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're up there.
Well, we really appreciate it. And that is definitely the hard thing about making, if we could sit in a room together
And work it
all
out.
find like the perfect harmonies. But
Yeah.
so you all know, we had to literally just like email each other and be like, here's what I did. And like, here's what I did. And like, hope it all works out. And then we just put it together and it worked out great. So,
Yeah.
so thank you to everyone that helped make that happen. Including, our sponsors, Mass CC and the WAC, and our patrons. So we're going to put up our Patreon and
Do. Yeah.
doo-doo. And now that video is live and ready to go on YouTube. We shared it secretly with our patrons for the last couple weeks, but now it's on YouTube. But we have 3 more videos coming up, and if you want to see some of them before the concerts, join us on Patreon.
Yes, and that reminds me, we do have, this is our first of the May Day series. Next week, we are going to have Joy Ike.
Joy Ike from
Oh,
Philly.
she's
another
so
Philly.
amazing. I'm going to just go ahead and vouch for Joy for the people that are here. Please do not miss that. She's incredible.
She's
She
so
is,
good.
right?
We did
Yeah.
this collaborative video with her, and she sent us her video like a couple days ago, and we're doing a song with her that is one of our oldest songs. And we said,
Awesome.
hey, do you want to, and she sent us her video, and I was just like, we should just re-record this song with Joy
Yeah,
Ike on it.
she's
Like,
so great.
forget it. Like, she totally, like, just gave it her life force,
Her
and it's
joyness, yeah.
probably 10 times better. So,
Yeah. And then the week after, we have Rachel Marie.
yep, who's here tonight. I saw her
Saw her
somewhere.
chatting.
Right here.
And then Jessie Terry at the end of the month.
Jesse's going to be on a Thursday. So we're 3 Sundays and then the last Thursday, which is the 27th. So yeah. Okay. So we're going to play. Do you have 2 more in you tonight?
Oh, yeah. I have 9 albums, so I can go all night.
Okay, perfect. Do
She's
you
just getting
have
warmed up.
any questions for us at this point?
Well, so we were talking about the cool kind of Easter egg thing, like with the hidden stuff in albums and everything. I would say as a songwriter, songwriter, what is one of your favorite Easter eggs that's tucked in a lyric of yours?
Ooh.
I have a funny story that I talked to Rachel Marie on her podcast, or a YouTube video with Rachel Marie. I wrote this incredibly passive-aggressive song on our first album. It's called God Knows I've Tried, and it's basically, I didn't know it at the time, but it's a song about codependency. You ever just bang your head up against a wall with somebody that you just keep... The lyric is, I can't love you any longer, but God knows, I just keep, you
Any
just
better.
banging your
Yeah.
head up against that wall. That's like, when is this going to be enough for you, right? So it's a very passive-aggressive song, and it's about 2 people in particular. I wrote it like 10 years ago, so I'm not concerned about anybody, figuring this out. But a bunch of people think that song is about them. So a bunch of people think I'm just like passive-aggressively and I'm like, it's not about you, but like...
It's so fun when people tell on themselves like that, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what Rachel said. She was like, well, I guess if you feel that you're being this way, then
Yeah.
maybe that's something you can work out. So everyone go listen to God Knows I've Tried and go figure out if that song is
Awesome.
about you, You probably think this song is about you,
Ooh.
don't you? So it's kind of an Easter egg.
Yeah.
I wrote it to be cryptic and
Nice.
passive aggressive. I was like 20 when I wrote the song, which, tracks. All right. Well, this song has a lot of Easter eggs in it, actually. This is a song, again, about a very particular experience. Several years ago, Eric and I watched his grandmother pass away. And so this song has a lot of imagery from literally being with her in the hospital room. And there is a line that says, what is it? Look at my face. And right before she died, I mean, not right before, that makes it sound more cinematic than it
does,
was,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like several hours before she died. I was only married in the family for like 6 months, and his grandmother, who had 15 kids and 50 grandkids, Eric walked in the room and she said, "Where's Ashley? Where's Ashley?" And then she was like, "I need to look at her face," or something like that. And so that little line is kind of like that same sort of specific cryptic type
So
of
beautiful.
thing. Yeah, so this is Mary Ann. We don't play this song very often, but we just felt inspired tonight.
I'm losing the phones.
Yeah.
The cans.
One, two, three, four.
We got tired of the phone calls. We were tired of the news. But there was something so different about losing you. When the phone started ringing in the early part of dawn, we knew before we answered that you were gone. And the angels were singing as we closed our teary eyes again. And the bells started ringing as he welcomed home his Mary Ann, his Mary Ann. It's been such a long year, Lord, it's been such a trial. Would you mind if I just sat here for a while? 'Cause I heard you're good to talk to, and there's so much left to say. Like, why do good things have to go away? Oh, they go away. And your daughters were singing as you close your weary eyes again. And that phone, it kept on ringing as you said your prayers with bees still in your hands. And we sang joy, Mother, you're full of grace. Look at my face. Joy, Mother, the fruit of your womb, it lights up the room. And we sing songs, and you sing along as good as you can. And you sing your songs, and we'll sing it strong as long as we can. As long as we can. Yes, we'll sing joy, Mother,
Just so beautiful, guys. Wow. Gorgeous. Just so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to sing and then turn around and do stuff.
You're doing great.
This
crushing
is a
it.
year
Thank
of just
you.
running PowerPoint for the last year, basically. PowerPoint concerts. Who knew that was going to happen? Thank you all so much for continuing to be here. We've got like 3 more songs. We've got Chris is going to play one, we're going to play one, and then Chris will play one more. So I'm going to spoiler alert us all a little bit and say that the last song that we're going to play ourselves tonight is a song called Grateful. Sort of a tradition for us to play that toward the end of our sets a lot of the time. And we're always just so grateful for our fans and for our fellow artists and just for life. So Chris, as part of our tradition, we're going to ask you and we're going to ask our audience. So everyone listening in, leave your comment to this question as well. Today, what are you grateful for?
Today, I am grateful for the fact that I and my mom are both vaccinated and that I got a chance to see her for the first time in over a year.
Oh my gosh.
And I've gotten to see her twice now, so I am feeling just incredibly, incredibly grateful for that. I saw somebody posted a tweet of them like actively going to go hug their mom for the first time, and I just was so happy that other people are getting to experience that kind of joy. It is just, man, I hope I never have to experience not being able to actually hug her for that long again, but I'm incredibly grateful that we are both safe and that we got to embrace one another one more time on this earth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
that's amazing.
So sweet.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
I'm feeling grateful that you got to do that.
Yeah, same. Same.
Yeah.
Well, before we kick ourselves off of the screen, thank you so much for your donations tonight. We really, really appreciate it. You can donate at bit.ly/maydaysdonations or at Venmo at TPIH Music. Let me put that up for you. Either one. If you donate at the bit.ly link, just there's a little drop down. Make sure you choose this concert, or you can donate to all of the concerts, but we're going to split that up 4 ways if you do, so it's a little easier. If you just donate to tonight's concert, there's a little drop down menu. You'll see. We really, really appreciate it, though. Your generosity keeps this boat afloat. So.
It does. And
All
I know,
right.
Chris, you were saying the same thing, right? It's just
Yeah.
like your community is what has kept you going this year. So.
Absolutely. It's been just such a blessing. Patreon has pretty much just helped me stay sane enough to just continue to be so hopeful and not just be so overwhelmed with anxiety and stress of like not working for a year. I mean, the thing of it is, of course, like most of us are able to go get other jobs, if push came to shove, but it's just such a shift to have to pull yourself out of that creative existence and to be able to fully invest yourself in your art and fully invest yourself in your craft. It's just such a difference. And so I just am so grateful that so many incredible people have made it possible for me to just be able to still be an artist, to still create during this time. Just so eternally grateful for every single one of those people.
Yeah, and we are too, because your art is beautiful
Thank you.
valuable, and it should be in the world, and so it's amazing that, I'm grateful for that. At the beginning of the pandemic, you were talking about, like, oh, we could just go get other jobs and stuff. Like, I kept having this feeling of, like, I should go get another job. And then I don't know, like, why I was so slow on the uptake, but it was just like, dude, I have worked for 7 years for this career. Like, this is what I'm trained for at this point. This is what my skill set. Like,
What else am I going to do?
it's not like I'm just sitting around, like, just playing a game.
Yeah,
It's like, this is a real job.
exactly.
So, yeah.
Our fans have made it possible for us to keep this as our job.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you have a Patreon. Everyone, please. I know so many of you here tonight are our patrons, so go sign up for another amazing Patreon. You're not going to be upset about it. All right, take us away.
Okay. I think after that song that you sang, I think I'm going to sing an older one of mine, actually. And this is one that's not recorded. This is called When Something Is Missing. And this is one of those songs that's kind of meant to be sung in community. So feel free where you are to sing out. It'll be good practice for when we get to sing in person together again sometime.
Have you ever needed room to breathe? Just a respite from the noise, some steady ground to find your footing before the riptides of your life pull you underneath. So busy trying to make your mark, you'd almost let your spark go dark. Second guessing keeps you grasping. It keeps you grasping at straws, but there's no drowning. There's no drowning when you let yourself pause. When you need to give a little more than what you got left to give. And when something is missing, but you don't know what it is, you can say, whoa, 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 whoa. Coming at you faster now. Before you know it, all your time, all your money, all your luck, all your love, love, love seems to run out somehow. So busy staring at that clock, you don't see just what you got. The day-to-day grind keeps you spinning. It keeps you spinning your wheels, and there's no winning. There's no winning the race that isn't real. So when you need to give a little more than what you got left to give, and when something is missing but you don't know what it is, well, you can say, whoa, 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 whoa. It's okay to say you need a little space. When the hard times almost break you, you need to give yourself some grace. And when almost feels absolute, may these words be your breakthrough. It's not how much you make that makes you. Your joy is not theirs to steal. So when you need to give a little more than what you've got left to give, and when something is missing but you don't know what it is, when you need a light in the day just to find your way home, when you're trying to hold on to something but it's already gone, let me hear you say, whoa, 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 yeah, whoa, whoa, whoa. What you got left to give, and when something is missing but you don't know what it is, well, you can say, whoa, 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 whoa. Let me hear you say, whoa, 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 yeah, whoa, whoa, whoa. Or you can say, whoa, 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 whoa.
Gorgeous. I can't wait to be in a room and hear a bunch of people singing those woes.
Yeah,
That would be
there's
so
a cool
nice.
video up on YouTube from a gig in New Hampshire, where us in Peterborough, New Hampshire, where the whole room, oh man, it still gives me goosebumps just thinking about that night. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Isn't that so special?
Yeah.
That's the stuff that you really miss
Yeah.
about the live concerts.
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
We've
Yep.
got a lot of good comments of people that are talking about also seeing their kids and their parents and stuff. Karen, there's something in the mail for you right now. So,
I can't believe that you haven't recorded that.
yeah.
Do you have a reason?
Yes, because the album that I was gonna put out, this new one that came out, Changemakers, is so very specific in what it's about, and so that song it doesn't belong on that album. It kind of belongs on this other album that's already on the back burner and like
Nice.
ready to be made. I just have to, let Changemakers breathe for a little while, and then I can
course.
get into the studio and get this one out.
That's awesome.
So friends, support Chris. Go to chrismatthews.com, go to patreon.com/chrismatthews, and donate to tonight. And then we all can afford to make lots and lots of albums.
Yeah, absolutely. And share it too, right? So then the people who weren't here tonight, they can be like, oh my God, I missed that. But
True.
it's not too late for me to tip because the link still works.
True.
There you go.
I love what you're saying, Chris.
And that is a good point. Typically, I am kind of the accountant in this whole operation, in this duo here. And typically I don't count the donations until like Thursday, Friday, because things trickle in. So if you are seeing this, if we're time traveling and you're here on Wednesday or something, you still can completely and totally donate to tonight. So bit.ly/Maydays donations, and we're really appreciative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we
Yes,
will be
indeed.
retroactively appreciative.
Time machine appreciative. Before we play Grateful, do you have one last question for us?
Yes, actually, when are you all gonna be back down this way? Do you know? And or if not down this way in DC, when will you be back on the road so that I can try to come see you play live?
Or we can all play together, which would be so
I mean, that would be great,
fun.
but I would just be sitting there the entire time, like singing alto harmonies with you, and they'd be like, can you just get out of here? 'Cause
We'll
I'm
just
like,
be
"But
a
it's so
we'll just be a
beautiful.
band.
I can't help it."
How about that? Yeah, so this summer we have organized some outdoor house concerts here.
In New England.
And
New
you're in
England.
Worcester?
Yeah, we're
As
in
the people
Worcester.
say.
Worcester. We're
Yeah.
in Worcester. Yeah, so we in New England, like we've got a couple things planned in Connecticut and Massachusetts, kind of like getting them on the calendar right now. So look out for that. And if anybody wants to host an outdoor, super safe, super awesome house concert this summer, let us know. But yeah, DC, we haven't started working on tour calendars yet. We have you played the, I'm going to get these numbers wrong, 1867 house, do you know what I'm talking about?
That's in New Jersey.
Oh, that's in New Jersey. What's the place in Virginia? The Severide House?
Oh, the Severide House. Yeah, I'm playing
think
there in
we
a
were-
couple weeks.
Oh, nice.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That's
That's in
awesome.
Reston, right?
It's actually I think it's technically in Arlington. It's considered Arlington.
Okay.
But yeah, we
Was
were
it them
booked
or somebody
with
else?
them last year.
Yeah.
But
So we've got to, just
you have to work that out.
everyone
Yeah.
got pushed. That's the wild thing about the pandemic, right? Is like, I think people were like, oh, okay, September's going to come, everyone's vaccinated, and you guys can just get back. But
Yep.
if you consider that all these venues now are pushing their entire calendars back
Yeah.
a year, it's like, all right. So, yeah,
we don't
but
know is
hopefully,
the short answer.
yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
soon.
But you're going to be up this way, right? You'll be in New
Yes,
Hampshire.
I'm going to be up there. I'm going to be in the New Hampshire and Massachusetts area in June. So I
Okay.
might just message you and be like, what are y'all doing? Can I
Yeah.
swing by? Can I
Perfect.
just come watch you sing some songs?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to hang, just hit us up.
Totes.
Yeah.
Little jam.
That's awesome.
We'll make
just
that
do
happen.
some jamming. We'll just go live like from your backyard and be like,
Aw, I love that. Well, we'll all be vaccinated, so.
Yeah.
yeah, totally. I'm so stoked. Oh my gosh. We drove an hour and a half. We like jumped the border to go to Pennsylvania to get vaccinated.
You
because-
did?
Yeah, because there were so many people in that town that were just like anti-vaxxers, so they
Right.
had like all this extra vaccine.
That
I was
worked out
like,
for you.
I don't mind driving an hour and a half to get to see my mom again. That's an
Yeah.
easy choice.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I know we have family in South Carolina and they're like, we've been vaccinated for like 3 months. Like, what's going on with you guys? And we're like, we have too many like awesome, smart people in the Northeast that like
Exactly.
all want to get vaccinated all at the same time. So like,
Yeah.
we're like working on it. In South Carolina, they were like, oh, no one wants it, so we got it forever
Yep.
ago. Like,
Exactly.
"Ah, it's not fair.
Yeah.
But it is nice to live in a place where like tons of people are getting the vaccine
Yeah.
because you're like, okay, well, I feel pretty safe, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So grateful for vaccines. And with that, we're going to play Grateful.
Awesome.
All right. Cool. And We just saw that Jeff and Sandy are celebrating their 27th.
Where'd it go? Right here.
That's awesome. So congratulations, you two. And we would love to send this one out to you two and just help celebrate that together. Walk with me to the waterside. See the sun sinking slow. Paint a canvas sky from blue to red and gold. And take my hand sitting in the sand as the light slips past the trees, draws back the curtain on the shimmering galaxy. And I wonder at the mystery of the breath inside our lungs, the very gift that sustains me, holds the life of everyone. And I am grateful, grateful to be alive. I wake with you lying by my side, as if you've always been there. Gentle curving frame, you're soft and golden hair. And I remember a place in time when all I had was a prayer, a simple wish, a life that we could share. And when I wonder at the mystery of our love, I'm overcome. Of all the billions of people, our two hearts, they beat as one. And I am grateful, grateful to be alive. But I get lost sometimes. My blood runs cold and my eyes go blind when I reach my end and I can't find my way. But you're standing there right in front of me. Ooh. So I wonder at the mystery of a love that seeks me out. Through every season of suffering, in my fears and in my doubts. And I am grateful, grateful to be alive. I'm alive.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Man. Gosh, yeah. Katie said this song is so calming. It's just so lovely to just get to hear those beautiful harmonies. Oh man, it's been just delightful getting to listen to you both tonight.
Thank you.
Likewise.
Apparently on Spotify, it's very common that people listen to our music when they're going to sleep,
Yeah.
which is, I could partly get my feelings hurt, but then again, that's nice.
It's really nice
be
to
there
be able
for
to
you.
soothe people, to reach them that deeply that they just feel so safe and comforted
Yeah.
with and by you. It's lovely. It's a total
Right.
compliment.
It's
Put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for Chris? We've got one more question, one more song. Anything come to your mind?
Man, I had like a technical guitar question because I'm just curious.
Some people might be into that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not super technical, but do you have any finger picking songs? Like, can you finger pick with the way that you play?
Yeah, a little bit actually, but yeah, I won't. I'm not gonna sing that song tonight, but yeah, actually, so like.
Whoa.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's super cool. So
Wild.
you're playing, your bass obviously is not your thumb.
Yeah.
So
it's
it's
on
like,
the bottom. So.
oh, that's so fun to watch.
You
messes
should
with my head.
see the banjo playing. It's even trippier.
Oh, you play the banjo too.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
had to get a custom one because I'm so used to like aurally hearing the bass string voiced at the bottom of the down
At the
strum.
bottom.
So I got the drone, put where it should be, but then I had to kind of like reorder the strings so that it aurally sounded like what I was used to hearing with my guitar. Kathy Fink was sweet enough to help me get like a banjo that was right for me. So
That's
it was super
so
cool.
cool. So I'll ask you a less technical question then, and we'll do 2 for 1 here.
There you go.
All right, cool.
Because we only get you for another like 10 minutes. So, okay, so one more plug for this amazing, intentional, beautiful, awesome album, Changemakers,
Yeah.
that came out about a month ago.
Yep.
So everyone go check that out. So what does the title mean to you?
So the title is it's the second song actually on the album. It is called Changemakers, and there's a lyric in there that says, "We are more than keyboard warriors. We are the changemakers. Yes, we are." And the thing that has given me so much hope and kept me so inspired throughout kind of the turmoil of these past like 4 years has just been this awakening in so many people to be so actively engaged in the quest for justice. And that is just a really, really beautiful thing. And so I wanted the album to kind of encapsulate that essence and be, I call it a hope-fueled, love-filled social justice album, because that's what it is. And so the title track, it just conveys so much of that. There's so many amazing people, as you said, just so many amazing people in this world of ours and in this country of ours. We don't always get to be the loudest ones. We're not always the most vocal ones, but we're out there en masse. And so it's just kind of a way to honor that fact and to honor those amazing people who are in their own ways. There's another song on the album called Call Them In that says, "Freedom riders or letter writers, do what you can. Shine your light brighter." And so this album is for all of those people who in every single possible way have helped to make this world and this country that I love so very much a little bit better each and every day. So it's a love letter to the Changemakers.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
And then sitting on the steps where Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah,
preached.
and Mark, thank you, Mark, for posting. He actually posted about Marian Anderson earlier up in the comments. Thank you for sharing that with everybody. I really appreciate you doing that.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Okay, right here. Grateful for artists.
It's actually
Oh,
even
wait.
higher than that, but that one, he got
Higher
me a
than
little
that.
choked up with that one too. Mark's been killing it tonight with the comments.
I know.
Yeah,
I was loving that. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
I'm not quick enough, but thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
All right. Take us
Well,
away, my friend.
all right. I think I can only leave with one song for a night as lovely as this, with a group whose name is this, and I'm gonna leave you all with the very last song on Changemakers, which is called Hope Revolution.
I've seen so many flags flying high. Some were rainbow for pride, some were for saving black lives, and some were odes to the war long lost the last time hate tried to rise. But I haven't seen the red, white, and blue for a while. seen so many flags flying high. Some were red, black, and green for celebrating Juneteenth. Some were signs of respect to the few proud and brave who keep us free. But I haven't seen the red, white, and blue lately. This country of mine hasn't felt much like itself. It's no wonder so many put Old Glory on the shelf. Until the promise of her colors was back within our reach. Then that star-spangled banner, she was lighting every street. It was a hope revolution. We the people and the future of our choosing. It was a love revelation. Justice for all, indivisible, one nation. These 4 years didn't feel like the last. The worst parts of our past, it's like they brought them all back. Baby's cage, borders closed, our democracy under attack. Never thought I'd see the red, white, and blue do that. Oh, this country of mine hasn't felt much like itself. It's no wonder so many put Old Glory on the shelf. Until the promise of her colors was back within our reach. Then that star-spangled banner, she was lighting every street. It was a hope revolution. We the people and the future of our choosing. It was a love revelation. Justice for all, indivisible, one nation, one nation. Oh, those colors aren't just pretty, they're pretty much who we are. Perseverance and justice, vigilance and valor. That's why we were dancing, not marching, as those dark clouds scattered. There was glass everywhere from all the ceilings being shattered. It was the first time in a long time that it felt like it mattered what those colors stood for and who those colors were for. It was a hope revolution. We the people and the future of our choosing. It was a love revelation. Oh, justice for all, justice for all, indivisible, one nation, one nation. I've seen so many flags flying high. Hope the red, white, and blue stays a while.
Amazing, amazing, beautiful, gorgeous, unbelievable, amazing, so great. Eric's
you.
crying a little
I was
bit.
like, I just barely got those last 2 lyrics out, man. I cannot sing when I cry. I barely got through that.
Well,
That was so awesome,
You've
Chris.
made
Thank
me-
you.
Thanks, man. Hear the album version. It's even cooler. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Big old gospel choir in there.
oh,
I bet.
that'll get you crying
Yeah.
every time. Well, you make me feel patriotic for the first time in a long time. I'm sure you get that a lot. Do people tell you that a lot?
They do, and I'm glad about that because there is much to love in this country. There's that James Baldwin quote that says, I'm paraphrasing it, but he basically says, because I love this country so much, I insist on the right to criticize her. Because we expect so much greatness from what could be. This could be such an amazing place, and so those of us who want that full glory of what this nation of ours could be, and what we see so much in one another and the people that we meet, the strangers that we meet all across this country. So it's, it makes me happy when people realize that there is so much to still be inspired by about this great nation of ours. So we're gonna keep plugging. We're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there. I know, and I felt that while you were singing. That's like what I think was so beautiful, what's such a gift about your music, and in that song in particular, just feeling like, you know, I loved the imagery of the glass ceilings shattering. I loved like the imagery of people dancing and like the clouds scattering. And I'm just like, yeah, that is, you know, a hope revolution, a joy revolution, a love revolution. Like, man,
That's what we need.
that's what we need.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this awakening inside, with those things fueling and driving our future, which is just, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you
thank you.
so much. This was a dream, and it felt just absolutely perfect that you kicked off our May Days. It just was like, you're the only person in the whole month that we've never played with before, and so it was just like this burst of energy and excitement and inspiration for us to be with you tonight. And
Likewise,
I
it's
know,
just been such a joy.
and everyone in the comments are just freaking out and like so loving tonight. This is the most like active comment section we've had in a long time. So I know our people really like you a lot.
Awesome.
And we are just so grateful. So
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you both so much for having me. I did want to tell you, Eric, I had on my flower bow tie, so you weren't alone over there with your flowered shirt, my friend.
The screen's a little too small for me to
I know, I
notice
have to
that.
like take it off and get in there so you can really see it.
I love
amazing.
that.
Amazing.
Nice.
That's great.
Sweet.
So thank you all. Please donate. All of us are just, you know, trying to continue making music for you, and we're so happy that we can do it online.
We are.
Thank you to MCC and WAC for supporting all of this creation that we get to do this month, and all of these artists all over the country that we get to support. It feels so good to send checks to artists all over the country again, because we got this grant from MCC and WAC, and it just feels really great that we got to spread the love this month and we got to support our community. So thank you to the state and the city for helping us do that, and thank you to you all for helping us do that. All of your donations will get split in half, and we will share the love with Chris. And come back next week. We'll be here with Joy Ike from Philly, and that's going to be a blast as well. So
Yeah.
awesome. Good night, everybody. It was
All right,
so
good night.
good. Love you all.
Stay safe out there, everybody.